Hi, welcome on to the Sports Prediction Show in association with Sport Lobster. And got to say, first of all, congratulations to Tom Mayer, who was #1 in the league last week. I'm not even going to tell you where I finished. It was another bad week for me. Another bad week. Although I did get the Arsenal beating Reading one right. So that was one good thing. Let's get into it this week. Lots of fixtures, including our very, very important one against Chelsea, which we will come to at the end. We're going to kick off first of all with Southampton playing Tottenham Hotspur. That's the first game, 12:45 kickoff. So make sure you get your predictions in before the first game. Remember, if you don't do it before then, it's null and void. Southampton versus Tottenham. Now, this is a really hard one to call. Tottenham, they got a good win last week up there at Newcastle, but at the moment, the way they're playing, who can't? Southampton, wheels have really been falling off of Southampton, but I don't know, I fancy that this game is going to end up as a draw, so I'm going to call that one a draw. Burnley versus Leicester, again, another really, really hard one to call. Two teams that are fighting for their lives, but Leicester, they're on fire at the moment, and they'll know that if they can, get one past Burnley, that will more or less put Burnley down and will go a long way to keeping Leicester up. And I was impressed with Leicester when they came to the Emirates. They played really, really well. When we played them at their place, remember, it was a draw. So I'm going to go for Leicester beating Burnley. Crystal Palace against Hull City. Palace let me down last week. They've been on fire. And then they go and get smashed by West Brom at home. But I can only see them beating Hull, even though Hull are fighting for their lives. And Hull really have to win this game when you consider some of the games they've got coming up against us, against teams like Man United. But I'm going to go for a home win there. I think Crystal Palace are going to have to bounce back. They've been really disappointed with their last performance. So a home win there for Crystal Palace. Newcastle versus Swansea City. The way Newcastle are playing at the moment, I'm sorry, I just can't give them anything. I'm going to go for a Swansea win in that game. Queen's Park Rangers versus West Ham. Another one that's hard to call. QPR fighting for their lives. West Ham on the beach. I'm going for Queen's Park Rangers in that game. Stoke City versus Sunderland. Sunderland are rubbish at the moment. Got to be a home win there for Stoke City. West Bromwich Albion against a very, very down Liverpool, especially after going out in the semi-finals last week. Gerrard's down, Sterling's down. They're all feeling very down at the moment here at Liverpool. West Brom, good win last week. I'm going to go for a draw in that one. I'm going to go for a draw. It's a tough place to go to when you really need a win, especially with West Brom able to get a load of players behind the ball. Manchester City versus Villa. Villa flying high, of course, after that great win against Liverpool. City got a win last week. I'm going to go for City. They're playing at home. I have to edge towards Manchester City, unfortunately. Hopefully Villa can do us a favour, keeping them away from that second spot. But I think City will get a win in that. Then, I'll tell you what, there's so many close games, so many hard games to call this week. Everton versus Manchester United. Everton, resurgent, been playing well. Manchester United, all right, they lost to Chelsea last week, but they were all over them. Hard to call. Have to edge towards Manchester United, unfortunately. I'll actually take being wrong on that one and a victory for Everton, but I do think United will get over the line in that game against Everton. And finally, Arsenal versus Chelsea. We haven't beaten Mourinho, that terrible record against Mourinho. This is a hard one to call. I don't think Arsenal will lose, but I can see what we all know what Chelsea are going to do already. We saw what they did at home last week against Manchester United, where they gave up 70% of the possession. They're going to park the bus at Arsenal and try and catch us on the break. But I think we're going to win. I think this is the game where we're going to get one over Mourinho. They're going to go on and win the title, but they're going to have to wait for it because we're going to do them. So I'm going for an Arsenal win. What are your predictions? Go to the app on Sport Lobster and put your predictions in. You've got yourself a chance this week to win yourself an Invincibles t-shirt to the winner. So make sure you enter your team, and remember, you've got to get it in before the first game at 12:45. But listen, it's all about Arsenal this weekend. Let's smash Chelsea.
I want to know why that is still on the bridge.
It's part of our past, isn't it? So I remember we're civilised.
He kissed the badge, the Chelsea badge, when they lifted the cup last week.
Yeah.
And why is that still on our bridge?